Hi, welcome back to Shadows of Nox. It's been a minute since we've been here to play Call of Cthulhu. Tonight we are playing session 6, which I am calling Identity. I am Elizabeth, or Isabits. I am the keeper for tonight's tale. We are going to go around and meet everyone, and then we'll do the content warning, and we'll do a recap, because it has been a minute. So we're going to go around as I see everybody, which I think it's the same every time. But Joe, it is your turn first.
Hi there, my name is Joe, also known as Clockwork Tuba. You can find me on Twitch or YouTube under the same name. I play cozy games and some actual play RPGs. I actually just recently got my first writing credit in an RPG, and I'm super excited about it, and I'm still not living it down. Words. Oh, tonight I am playing Barrett Fredericks, the man in mountain who looks like a side of roast beef that's been had terrible things happen to him in his life. But no, basically he's a sailor who is just trying to help people and is totally believes that everyone else is on the up and up, much to his own chagrin.
All right, and Lottie.
Hi, I'm Lottie West. You can follow me on all my socials at Lottie West. You can also find me here with Being Villainous, as well as Power Rangers podcast that we record, where I play Cicely Adwell, the Ren Fair Spawn Blue Ranger. I also just got finished doing my first full weekend LARP writing workshop. So if you're interested in possibly playing a game that I helped write, follow my socials, or you can join my Discord. I post it everywhere. And we're hoping to submit it to BCon, which is a Chicago-based LARP convention. And I would love to see some people play. I'm really attached to these characters already. And here I will be playing the Australian Queen of the Desert, Priscilla, Dr. Byrne herself. She is excited to keep on journeying forward.
And John.
Hi, my name is Abernath Quinn, and I definitely did not set anything on fire recently, nor murder anyone by smothering them with a pillow. So that's the first thing you should know about Abernath. Abernath is a kind of former night watchman security guard for this weird museum where weird things happened that he was in no way curious about, and has no potentially tragic backstory from the Great War TM. So that's how I'm playing here. In real life, I am grateful to be a GM for Isabeth's on Wednesday every either for Power Rangers Centurion or the Power Rangers podcast, which is starting up the term paper trilogy, which is the kind of the middle section of the Power Ranger podcast, which is very exciting. And Power Rangers Centurion, of course, from Centurion Ridge, where Isabeth also has to do with my foolishness as Ivanus. It's a lot of fun being here at Shadows of Nox. We're always welcome more people into the community. We're about space and horror, and we have all kinds of new stuff coming down the pipeline as people submit on the pitch forum, so it's very exciting. Outside of this, I am an MFA student in Chicago, and so I have if you've been following my Instagram, I've been talking a bit about the board game I've been working on, Jingly Bells, that I'm taking pre-orders for, which is super cool. And also, I'm going to be at Rhino Fest, which is going to happen every Wednesday in June. So I'm pre-recording a few things for Power Rangers Centurion. So please hold on to your thoughts and feelings and join us every Wednesday to find out what happens with the Rangers. And yes, if there's Eldritch Bread in this episode, it's to blame for me having Eldritch Bread in the last episode of Power Rangers Centurion. I'm waiting for it. I'm going to be thinking about it until it happens. Eldritch Bread.
It may not be tonight. I want to take you. I want you to be surprised when it happens. So it may not be tonight.
I feel like Eldritch Bread will be surprising no matter when it happens.
That is a good point. And Andrew.
Yes, I am Andrew Bryant. Otherwise, go by Roadkill in various circles. And tonight, playing Michael Dotson as always. For those of you that may not remember, he is currently a master's student at the London University. Has various skills that he's trying to go into to try to be a paranormal investigator, but when it boils down to based on how at least this system works, the closest thing he is to any sort of professional at anything is a translator of Latin and a photographer. But other than that, as far as Shadows Nox, I'm on a Monday stream that we're kind of on a bit of a break right now. We might be able to get something going here soon, but that's still pending. So, yeah, keep your eyes out for that one, I guess. But yeah.
You're also on the Power Ranger podcast stream.
Yes, yes, I do occasionally pop up there. Sometimes evil, sometimes not. You know, I guess it's.
I mean, evil is a varying degree of things. You know,
it is. It's a gray area, right? It's not like it's all bad.
Spectrum, yeah.
So much emotional damage from that.
You definitely haven't destroyed the world. That's what we're saying.
Yeah. But yeah, that's about it for me.
And we have Teslan here behind the scenes. I'm not sure if you want to unmute and introduce yourself, or if you just want to stay.
Or if you need me to keep going.
Yeah.
I could ramble.
No, I can talk. Just probably should mute the other behind the scenes. Okay, there you go. Hey everybody, this is Teslan. I'm going to be running stuff behind the scenes, or maybe coming in later if everything comes together and people feel better. I am, let's see what, oh, that's what I'm doing. In addition to playing in this game, once we get the Monday game going again, we'll be in that using Dresden Files, Paranormal Albany. But this week on Thursday, I'm going to start my year sojourn on the Gen Con TV Twitch channel, GMing Emerald Glitch Season 3. We're going to start out with a fun adventure where several Seattle Shadowrunners, did a job that took them to Florida, and then they wake up in the Gulf Coast outside of New Orleans in a fishing net. It should be. I'm planning on having a lot of fun.
Sounds like a bit of a crazy night.
Yeah.
Yes.
Somebody had way too much.
The last time I was in New Orleans.
Now I'm just picturing Florida Man as a Shadowrunner, and that's no good.
You're not far off.
Is there a Shadowrun archetype that does nothing but drugs to get by?
Actually, yeah, the Ganger.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there you go.
There 100% is.
So there you go. There's Florida Man right
you
there.
You can't see me, folks, but I'm face palming here.
Everywhere.
But I will. There. if you're at Origins or Gen Con and want to use the pre-gen for Florida Man, I will have the only copy of it handy for myself. So come find me in the Shadowrun room and come play some Shadowrun. That is all I got, Elizabeth.
All right. We are missing Katie for right now. She's not feeling very well. If she starts to feel better, she's going to pop in later. If not, we are going to go ahead and do the first part of tonight, and then we will just end a little early. If she is feeling better, then we will continue. But if not, we hope that she feels better. Content warnings for tonight. More of the same: blood and gore, murder, human sacrifice, voices in your head, scary, horrific visions projected telepathically, occult practices, amnesia, being eaten alive, betrayal, and my terrible mispronouncing of places tonight. That is going to be something that happens.
You say
actually, that might not be tonight. That might be next.
Betrayal? Who would betray
I have a
us?
question. a question.
No,
When you
Yeah.
say human sacrifice, do you mean a human that is sacrificed, or do you mean a human that sacrifices?
yes.
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 Oh, yes.
Yes.
No. I like to make sure.
I mean, I think all of our characters have made some sacrifices at this point.
Yeah.
However you want to take that, I will just say you can take it however you want.
Some of us have actually burned bodies.
Yeah.
But, you know, I
Look,
don't think
Come
it was
on.
by choice
Yeah, it was
necessarily all the time.
so sad to find my former roommate dead.
I
And I had
Who would
absolutely
have
nothing
done
to do
such
with
a
it.
thing? Oh wait, no, he just died in his sleep.
It tears me up
Yeah.
inside. Yeah, with the
I'm
word traitor
sure.
above his headboard. I don't know how that happened. It was so sad. We shouldn't have left him alone.
Well, maybe that was the betrayal. Yeah.
Maybe.
I came
Oh,
into this.
that brings a tear to my eye.
What was
It's
that,
like
Joe?
the corner of my mind.
Barrett came into this with no secrets, with nothing dragging him down, just wanting to help people. Barrett still wants to help people. I'm not sure Abernath qualifies as a people at this point.
That's fair.
Once
If
you
it
know
makes
my
you feel
tragic
better, I only
backstory,
have
then
the one secret,
You
which
have
isn't really a bad thing.
you have like a flask.
You
that
had to
drink out
roll
of.
the
I don't wanna
D4 for
hear
it.
about it. I don't want to
Yes,
hear
I
about
did
your
have to roll
weird,
some sanity. Yeah.
weird flask.
Any secret you have to roll the D4 for is not an okay secret that is just fine.
You don't know.
The
It could
secret
be
is that she's from
great.
Australia, which is like
Yeah.
the eldritch horror of a continent, anyways.
So for tonight, I'm going to take care of the recap. It has been a minute since we played, so I will go over what happened last time. For the players, I had already let them know, but we're not going to be doing any luck rolls tonight to see if they can regain luck. So they're just going to be stuck with whatever luck they have left. So last time, the group
Previously, on
headed.
X-Men.
Yeah, exactly. The group headed over to the bookshop to meet with Dr. Stern, who they were told could potentially have information that could help them. Before they could really get too much information, things got a little heated when Dr. Stern pointed out that Harold's pen that he wears on his lapel looked very similar to that of the logo of a cult. Harold shot Dr. Stern, who in turn used magic against him, shriveling his arm. We did end up cutting that session short because tempers got a little high. It was a little uncomfortable. And that happens sometimes in games, and we kind of took some time to talk together individually and as a group and kind of worked everything out. And, the solution to what happened, you guys will learn about either tonight or next session, depending on how things go.
That's a real shame about that bookshop.
That being said, we are not going back to the bookshop. The players have been given the information that they need to move forward. So we're just going to move forward from another point. I will say this to my players, and we had talked about this when we all got together. If at any time during the game, if anything happens in game that makes you uncomfortable, you think it goes too far, really anything, if you are uncomfortable for any reason, do not hesitate to ask for a break. Either message me, message Teslan. If you don't feel comfortable talking about it as a group, let me know. We will go to break and we will work it out, and we will make sure that everybody feels okay moving forward. Everybody gets a voice in this game. It is your story to tell. So please do not feel bad. Do not hesitate to let me know if something happens that you do not approve of, you don't like it, you're uncomfortable with it. So that all being said, some of the information that the players were given was the picture that they had of the being that was in the display case. They were told it is called Rantagoth. According to the information that Dr. Stern had, Rantagoth is necessary in bringing back the Great Old Ones. The books don't exactly say how, just that 6 are needed. It gives no other clear information as to why the 6 are needed, what they are needed for, and what the 6 even are. he also told you that based on the coordinates that you gave him, there's supposed to be a sunken city there where one of the great old ones slumber. So, all of that being said, we are going to pick up with everybody pulling up in front of the Mullen residence. Before we start, does anybody have any questions about where we left off? Does anybody have...
Just to confirm, the Mullen residence is the mother who was completely blasé about her son being missing to the private eye.
Correct.
And in fact, that son is the one who we ended up capturing when the creepy puppet cultist people, well, probably not cultists, probably a cultist, we don't know they're cultists, showed up at the private eye's place. We clocked one out and then tied him to a chair. He said terrible things and then drowned himself with magic.
Yes.
We really should have shaved his head after we tied him to a chair. We should have done it in the kitchen.
What?
Anyone?
What?
Anyways,
I do to a kitchen chair.
There we go. We got the
Okay.
reference. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, you're still in timeout for the next 5 minutes.
Yes, Andrew.
We have a chance
speech too.
between the bookshop. You can go into Miss Mullen's place for my character to have developed any of the film that he's had on his camera, or not
Sure.
yet. Okay.
Sure, we'll say
Going back through the things that he's taken pictures of, it was mainly the wax museum, the site, and once we all woke up, see if there was any spectral or psychic resonance that came through on the film.
Seems to be a ghost of Ollie following around Abernath, screaming "traitor, traitor."
Let's see, there were a couple other shots that he did of the various research that the investigator did, and then of the car that the cultist puppets, whatever they were, drove off in to see if he could get a snapshot of the license plate or something.
I will say you were able to get a shot of the license plate as it was driving away.
Awesome.
Because if I remember correctly, you rolled.
That did actually develop, so that's good.
Yeah.
That's the trick now in this time period.
As far as like the other pictures trying to pick up spectral stuff, give me an occult roll and we'll see if you saw anything on it.
First roll of
If
the night.
anything's just a typical light orb or if it's actually important.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
Yikes.
Those playing along at home, we got an extreme success, 11 out of 65.
Yep.
Extreme.
So the shots that you took in the museum, one of the pictures that you took of the display case, you see 6 little shadows, one in each spot where you each woke up. In another one of the pictures, the smoky areas where you each woke up are a little more defined, and it actually almost looks like an outline of bodies. For the research, the pictures that you took of the research, it all looks normal. There's no
that was mainly just to get my own record of what he pieced together to see if
all of those turned out pristine. You can really
good.
None of them are blurry or anything like that. But that is what you got from the pictures.
Awesome.
I will say that it is only the 5 of you heading to the Mullins house. After the incident at the bookshop, Harold leaves you kind of muttering that he has some errands to run and he is going to go get the money for the trip. And that he will meet you back at the docks when he's done
Okay.
So it is just the 5 of you heading to the Mullins house.
5 of us piling into
Alright.
Ollie's poor car.
Yeah.
Been beaten to hell.
Ollie would
So-
appreciate his car being put to good use, though. Keep a stiff upper lip. We're
so
doing
as you-
right by Ollie. We're doing just what he would have wanted.
Oh, I'm
Right.
sure you think so, yeah. Constance Mullen lives on a street with some row houses, or row style houses. And this is kind of where we're gonna start as you guys pull up. The row houses are very much like townhouses, but they're a little larger. The outside of the houses are all kind of a brownish red brick, and most of the doors are kind of painted a brown to match. These don't really look run down, but they do look a little older. The paint on the doors is kind of faded at this point, except for one door is bright red. And as you walk up, you do notice that there are some neighbors, and you kind of know the ones, the neighbors, like there's a man across the street watering his lawn as he's watching you guys pull up. Another is peeking out of a window, staring at you. There are 2 down the street a little ways, maybe 2 or 3 doors down, talking over a small hedge, but all eyes are on you. Are you guys just heading straight to the house, or what are you guys doing?
I mean, we're not conspicuous at all. Group of
Right, yeah, no,
people,
this
including-
feels
We're
very...
quite a motley
odd.
crew.
Right?
Yeah, I'm starting to feel kind of paranoid, being the fact that we know puppets of people can come after us, and I have no idea if any of those people are puppets. But
And I'll say this just because of the players we have down tonight. Can any of you people talk to people? Because Barrett is not a talker. Barrett does not talk to folks.
Yeah. Barrett
I
just
will have-
stands there and looms.
I will have
Barrett and
Right.
Abernath are the one are going to say back what someone else. You've described yourself as a cricket man. It frustrates me that you have a
Yes.
higher appearance score
Yes,
than I do.
but I
You
have a
describe
higher. I was gonna
yourself.
say, I have a higher parent score than you. I'm an adorable cricket man, like the one from James and Giant Peach.
You keep
I
saying
will
adorable.
say,
Is it charm and like psychology that you would use?
whatever
Talk to
if that's what you want to use, that's fine.
All right. I mean, I could use psychology to approach people.
I will say this:
that way.
if you want to wait and talk to people on the way out,
Mm-hmm.
and for when Katie is back, or when somebody else is with you guys, we can do that. We can just kind of hand wave that you guys are going to talk to these guys when on your way out instead of on the way in, because that may actually make
to
more
these
sense
other
because
people.
you have
Right.
because you'll have more information once you're in the house, and like you
Yeah.
come out and you'll know a little bit more.
That's
So it's up to you. If you guys want to try now, you can. If you guys want to wait until you leave, that's fine too.
I'm okay with us waiting.
Yeah, so am I. I think we should.
I will say
check on
Barrett
them
is
all.
suggesting he take. God, I don't want to put Abernath in my back, but Barrett is suggesting he takes point. I can take hits.
I haven't. I've done nothing to you.
No,
As
no,
far
no,
as
no.
going in.
Barrett. Barrett wants to go. Barrett wants to go in the house first, just in case there is a cult or something like that. He's there. That he can take hits better than.
How about I go
the
in
rest of you.
first? You can go in right behind me. Because
Okay.
honestly, like this way, I can potentially talk to Miss Mullins, assuming that's who we come into. And if anything does happen, I'm pretty sure you could just grab me and pull me right back out, anyways.
That is fair. And just to make sure that our lovely viewers at home know, every time we're slagging on Abernath, that is purely out of character because us as players know Abernath is a terrible, terrible human being. Sorry, human being. But
Oh, cricket.
the characters still don't have any concrete evidence against him.
People just cross me and then they happen to die. That's not my fault. I just
I
happen
feel
to
like
be
I have a
in the
bad
area.
feeling about Abernath.
Actually,
I don't know.
actually,
It's a
while everyone is
weird
at the door,
feeling.
I think I'm going to go and talk to the lovely people that are gardening about their character.
Completely ruin the whole play.
All right, yeah.
For the
Can
rest of
someone
you,
put a leash on that guy?
obviously the door that you guys are going to is the bright red door.
Of course. It is the one. It is the one the game designers
It has to be
didn't put into the background elements.
That door.
Exactly. Are you really going to talk to the neighbors, Abernath?
I will do it on our way out.
Okay.
Because they have a lovely garden, and I feel their garden should be complimented and
That is
not burned to the ground.
That is very kind of you.
You say
So
things like that.
Are you heading to the front door, or are you going to go around the back?
That is fair. No. Like, here's the thing. I would love for Barrett to go around back and make sure someone that the occultist doesn't do a runner. But there is no way in hell Barrett is sneaking around back of any place.
Yeah. How
Not with that attitude.
I will say, as you
how
approach,
sneaky are you there, Dr. Byrne? I guess.
Not the sneakiest. I'm loud and Australian.
Let's just go to the front. If someone sneaks out the back,
Mm-hmm.
I am charming.
Oh, good. Well, you could lead the talking then.
People struggle with my accent.
Hmm.
What
Well,
accent?
okay. So I'll lead with a talking,
Perfect.
and then depending on how that goes, hopefully you can charm.
I can charm, and then
Yeah.
get very Australian.
Okay. Yeah. I'll try just talking straight to Miss Mullins, and if we don't get anywhere, then yeah.
okay. So you guys head to the front
Do
door.
it.
There are no lights on in the house, and it is very quiet when you approach.
What's the time of day? Because I think we went to the we went to the bookshop in the morning, but I don't know how long it took us to come from the bookshop to here.
We'll say 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna just knock on the door.
There's no answer.
Tea service, Governor. We've got a tea service here for you.
Surprisingly, there is no answer to that.
All right, break down the door. They're puppets.
Easy there, Abernath. All right.
I'm just saying it's probably a trap, but
Well, no, that's
Hey,
probably
open up
is,
the
honestly.
door.
Yeah, let's.
Does the handle turn on the door?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna slowly turn the handle, kind of start cracking it open, and be like, "Well, it's not breaking and entering if you didn't break anything to enter, right?"
We're breaking the law, but I'm pretty sure monsters constitute a little bit of law breaking.
Right.
Do you still want to go
Miss-
first?
Yeah. I'm gonna just shout into the space I'm opening the door to. Is Miss Mullins? Are you here? Hello.
There's no
can I
answer.
do a spot hidden as I enter the house?
Hello.
Yeah. Can I do a listen?
Okay, so the way we're gonna do
As
this
the paranoia starts skyrocketing.
Yes.
is,
Well, as Teslan pointed out in the chat, they are actually out to get us. It's not paranoia.
Right. Yeah. This is true.
unless you guys just all roll really, really badly, whatever roll you do will count for the whole house.
Okay.
Instead of doing it individually by room. So if you want to do a spot hidden, if you want to do a listen, whatever you want to roll, go ahead. As you kind of peer into the front of the house, you see a really nicely decorated sitting room to your left, and there's a small closet to the right, and there's also a staircase to the right leading upstairs. And then you can see a dining room and a kitchen towards the back, and it's very quiet. It doesn't sound like anybody's here.
What kind of lighting do they have? Do they have fancy new electric lights, or are they still using gas?
They have electric lights.
Thank
Okay, so we
God.
have a spot hidden failure of 84 out of 50 for Abernath. We have a 61 out of 95 spot hidden for Barrett. And then we have 2 listen failures from Dr. Byrne and Michael, a 79 out of 20 and a 53 out of 40. If there is another role that anybody that failed, if there's a different role that you would like to try, you are more than welcome to. Those of you that passed, if you would like to try a different role to try to find something else, you are more than welcome to do so.
I don't suppose swimming is going to help in this situation.
Probably not.
Nor diving.
No.
How about operate heavy machinery?
Not yet.
Okay.
We'll get back to that maybe later.
I'm going to hold the door open so others can enter, but also so I can unscrew the electric light bulbs just enough so if somebody flipped a light switch, the light still wouldn't come on.
Fair enough.
You're just going to randomly start unscrewing a light bulb, all right?
It's not random.
So,
Yeah, no, I think I'm.
you have the ground floor that you're on, and then you have the upstairs. Where would you like to start? I have a suggestion, but it is up to you guys.
I'm mainly going to probably start, I guess, since there's no sign of people in here, look for any sort of signs of the occult or some sort of activity thereof.
Okay.
I'll set. Oh,
Yeah. Can I can't really. I failed, but I kind of want to roll something.
go ahead, Joe. Yeah.
Yeah, in the general downstairs area that I'm seeing as I'm looking around, do I notice signs of a struggle?
No.
Okay.
It is the downstairs. It's very clean. It's very put together.
I'm going to say to Barrett. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm going to say to Barrett. Well, I found Ollie upstairs. Maybe I should try the upstairs. Maybe we'll find the same gruesome scene.
We should stick together for now. Why am I turning British? Damn it! Damn you and your British ways.
Too much fish and chips.
You know,
the wonderful accent you've got, you're accruing. See,
it didn't help that like last week I was being a pompous jackass named Rowan. So yeah, no, I think we should stay together is what he'll say in his normal accent because he's in fact American.
Yep. As am I. That's not true.
We don't want to get ambushed or picked off one by one. Everyone stay close. I do think so. I know open concept isn't really a thing, but like how much of the downstairs do I foresee is behind these first couple of rooms? Is it going to be like just 2 more rooms like behind a wall, or is it going to be?
It's when you walk in, there's like the living room,
kitchen,
which is kind of open, and then there's a hall closet to your right, and then the staircase, and behind the staircase, you can kind of see behind where the living room is, you can kind of see an opening where the dining room is, and then beyond that, there's like another wall with an opening, and that leads to the kitchen.
Okay. So actually, first things first, I open up the hall closet. A, I'm looking for a dead body here because, of course, Abernath's nearby. But B, I'm also looking for, with my success on the spot hidden, the signs of someone has left. As in, is there, of the different coat racks that are there, is there one hanger that's just sitting there empty? Of the different shoes that are across the bottom, is there one space for one? That kind of stuff.
Okay. So I'm going to kind of answer that with upstairs.
Okay.
So if it's okay with you guys, we're going to start upstairs, and I will kind of include what you're looking for, Barrett, with that because it kind of runs together. And then we'll do the downstairs if that's okay with everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Perfect.
Lottie, if you wanted to do like a spot hidden, or
let's give it a shot.
Yeah, anything that you think would help.
The lights are not active in here, right? So we have like daylight kind of coming through, right?
Yes, there are bright windows that the sunlight's coming through. So,
another failure.
Okay.
I'm trying my best.
You're doing great.
We'll see.
So upstairs, there are 2 bedrooms and a washroom. There is Constance's bedroom, and you can kind of tell it's very femininely decorated. Lots of like flowers and like roses and stuff. In the bedroom, there's the closet. There's a desk, and there is a set of drawers. In the second bedroom, you can tell that kind of looks like Shane's bedroom. Now, in Shane's bedroom, it looks like there has been a huge slumber party taking place. There are blankets on the floor, pillows on the floor. It looks like several people were sleeping in this room. For your question, the closet downstairs, as well as both of the bedrooms, looks like people packed and left. There are clothes missing in the drawers. There's clothes missing in the closets. There are jackets and shoes missing, but it doesn't look ransacked. It doesn't look like they were in a rush. It just looks like people were packing.
So, can I pull a Sherlock Holmes on this with my spot hidden and count the number of people in the slumber party against the number of missing people?
There are... Sorry, I heard a noise. I thought my cat was getting sick.
Don't worry, it's just Abernath coming for you. He's already slipped from the game itself.
I don't know what you're talking about. I would never. I am innocent.
There are less sleeping spots than there are missing people.
Okay, understood.
For the spot hidden, let me see. What were your rolls?
I'm just an old man. I carry a cane. I'll have you know. Right. I'm enfeebled from the Great War. Okay.
You were not, in fact, in the Great War. Stop saying that.
Roll me a d6, Barrett.
It was a different war.
Well, one of the wars was great, you know.
Good. That's either very good or very bad. I got a 6.
There is no good or bad. It's just telling me where you may find something. That's all. And that's actually
there's always good or bad.
That is a bold-faced lie to me, Elizabeth, and it hurts me.
So, as you are... Oh my god.
Yeah, see? No good or bad, right?
No, that's not about you. That's something else. It's something else.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to say the word Abernath.
Yeah, so it's probably, again, going along with Teslan saying in the chat, it is Abernath seeking a way to turn the gas on to blow up this house.
No, it's not. I can't do that because the house is electric, not gas.
Boogie,
I'm
woogie,
very
woogie,
disappointed. Very disappointed. But it's okay, I'll live.
So as you guys are all kind of going through the upstairs trying to figure out, like, A, if anybody's around, or B, were people taken against their will? Did they leave, on their own? As you're kind of searching, while you're in Shane's room, Barrett, you are starting to leave because you haven't really found anything out of the ordinary. And then you notice the dirty clothes hamper sitting there. And you get the idea, well, maybe there's something like in somebody's pocket or something like that. So you dig through all of the dirty, smelly clothes and you find a journal tucked into the back pocket of a dirty pair of pants.
I'm always finding the journals, and they're never going to be good.
You are always finding the journals.
So do I do the standard thing of let me flip to the last entry real quick just to make sure it's not, and then we waded into the house with our Tommy guns, and then.
Okay, so I'm going to share it with all of you because I'm going to assume that you're going to share this with the rest of everybody else.
I've got no reason not to trust these fine fellows who are assisting me on this.
I haven't murdered anyone.
On the last page of this journal, you see a crudely drawn table. At the top of this table, the first block says group, then leader, start, location, and end. And then down from group, it has the numbers 1 through 6. And this is what you see. Can everybody see that?
I can.
Mm-hmm.
For those playing along at home.
I'll read it. Don't worry about it. I'll read it out. I just want to give you guys.
What is number 3? What's that? What's the addendum on number 3's name? I have questions.
That's his full name. His full name is Brother Seymour. I'm so happy to be here.
No, so this is somebody's journal. This is their notes that they were taking. So in parentheses next to that name, they are so happy to be going with that person, is what that means.
Gotcha.
What everybody was given is group number 1. The leader is Sister Emma, and then it gives them a starting.
Sorry, I just read number 6.
I know. I know, and I'm very excited about that. I'm so excited. It gives them just a general location and then the ending location. And I am, unfortunately, I'm not going to try to pronounce all these because I'm going to butcher it. But it is locations in South America. Number 2, the leader is Brother Fredo. Number 3 is Brother Seymour with the note, I am so happy to be here. Number 4, and actually one of these was supposed to be, I'm fixing one of these because I had the wrong name, so my apologies if I can spell correctly. Number 4 is supposed to be Sister Phyllis. Okay, so that should be changed. Number 5 is Sister Agnes. And then number 6 has Brother Ollie crossed out and then Brother Simeon written next to it. Would you like a little bit more information about the rest of the journal or no?
Absolutely.
I figured you might. Okay. So,
threw me for a second, by the way. Thinking my character has an aunt named Dot.
Buddy.
Well, and your friend, right, is named Agnes, isn't it?
Yeah.
And my friend is named Seymour.
I'm not so happy with
there's no name on this journal.
I don't have any friends.
That's you killed the last one, so yeah, no, your friend's on here too. Don't worry.
Someone else killed him. We found him. I had nothing to do with that murder. Okay.
So speaking of that, there is no name on this journal, and the handwriting is atrocious. But what you can kind of make out is this is definitely written by somebody who is either willingly in this cult or enthralled by this creature. A lot of the entries is just day-to-day things, but they're all like really mundane, what they had for breakfast, that sort of thing. Then it gets kind of interesting. 2 days before you woke up in the museum, so like 2 or 3 days ago.
Yeah. By the way, for those like playing along at home, timeline-wise, this is like day 3 since we've woken up.
Yeah.
It's been a heck of a couple of days.
Yeah, it's about a week. That's for sure.
2 days before you woke up in the museum, there's an entry that says how they were all blessed by his voice. They were told that the 6 had been chosen and it was time to start preparing for the end. It says that Mother Mullen had told them that one of the 6 is not what the rest expect, but this should help us on our journey. If there is dissent among the 6, then it will make the ritual that much stronger. Since one of the 6 isn't really with them, it will make it harder for the 6 to come together. The day of the museum incident, the entry tells of excitement. This is how it begins, how lucky the 6 are. We're finishing the packing. We're almost ready to leave with him. Mother Mullen is frustrated that our ritual did not work. She has given us our assignments for the journey. This person is very excited about their assignments, though they're a little disappointed that they can't stay with Mother Mullen. They're excited to see Salvador. The drive is long, but at least I'll be with Brother Seymour. Laughs about how the Almighty Father is so smart for hiring that second ship in Monrovia. Talks about how even though the practice call failed here, that they're confident that the rest of the groups should be successful. Brother Simeon wasn't supposed to be tapped, but something changed. Brother Ollie was supposed to lead a ritual, but nobody has heard from him since the tour. And Mother Mullins is pretending to be okay and not worried, but it's obvious that she's concerned about his whereabouts. What else? It is imperative that we succeed in this. If even one group fails, if one group falls, the whole thing fails. If the rituals fail, then the Almighty Father's ritual will be that much harder. And then it kind of has the last page. It kind of says who's leading which group and where they're supposed to be going.
Okay. So yes, for those playing along at home who cannot see the chart, we have the list of people. We have all of them starting in general different places. A location that is, different places in South America. My apologies. Yes, including like say 2 in Salvador, 2 in Fortaleza, and then it's a couple that are unreadable. But the end that's listed for all of them is Valparaiso.
Yeah.
So that's where they're all going.
And I have a feeling it's not Indiana.
No, I doubt it's going to be the Indiana one. It could be. We could have so much more time to thwart this than we thought.
Near the general area of the random coordinates that we have. That are supposedly nowhere.
I will say this out of character. After you guys are done here, you're supposed to be meeting with the crew that was left behind, and they were supposed to be procuring you a vessel to sail to the coordinates. He will have a map that I will show you, and then you will be able to see. I have it plotted out for you where these places are, so you can kind of see. And one of them is going to give you options.
Gotcha. Yeah, that was my failed navigate roll. I was trying to think if Barrett could do this all mentally, but yeah, no, he needs the map in front of him to figure stuff out.
Yeah, and you will have that. It'll either be later this session or next session, but you will. I have actually a couple. It's the same map, but I have a couple of different plot points on it. One is the 3 options of choices. You have you can pick one of 3 ways to go, and then based on that, you will have different adventures that you can do based on how you guys decide to go about this. So don't think too much on the places now, because you will have a map in a little while or next session to actually look at.
I will say this. As soon as I see these names, and I think reading off the names, I see at least a little bit of recognition in everyone. We start, or at least I start, or Barrett starts searching the house again, looking for photos.
That is the very interesting thing, is there is not one photo in this house. There's not even photos of like Shane when he was a kid with his mom, or like pictures of him with his dad before he passed away. Okay. There is not one photo in this house.
Hold on, I gotta do it to brace myself to ask the question and hear the lie that's gonna come from this. Abernath, did you have any idea Ollie was involved in this?
Well, no, he worked most of the day shift. I mean, we shared a home more because we weren't paid much than anything. I never really got close to any of my coworkers. I after I got out of the war, I just sort of grew detached from people. So, I do my job, and I don't make many friends. So you're probably the closest to companionship I've had in a very long time.
Put my hand on his shoulder, look into his eyes. You're a valued friend, Abernath.
Can I please give him a story point, Matt? I know it's not the same game. Please give him something.
No. I'm just gonna make it when you kill me all the more painful. I'm gonna set that up. I want to be able to look into your...
I will say, Barrett, you do notice that, like, I don't know how to explain this other than explain it. Like, you kind of notice that Abernath is facilitating emotion a little bit, but it's like single manly tear, but it's also not. I don't know how else to explain it, but like at that place, you can kind of tell.
I see the mask, even if I may not know what's beneath it. I see the mask kind of situation.
Yeah.
Okay, understood.
Actually, Teslan has a very good point. You each see a name on that list that you know that is someone fairly kind of close to you, to each of you. So please, everybody, give me a sanity check.
I was going to say I don't know that I recognize any of those names.
And
I'll
mine
do a
would be
sanity
for
check
Sister
anyway.
Agnes, I take it, right?
Yes.
Good. Good.
Oh, good.
We love to see it.
All right. So
Don't
far, we have three, four.
Oh,
Everybody
Won the
failed.
entire group.
what a delightful.
Rose
I don't
Bibbledy.
think I have any. I don't have any luck left. So
Yeah.
I have
Well, I have
25
luck, but I
luck,
don't- I don't think I have
it's
enough.
nowhere near enough to save that.
Oh,
yeah, I'm going to save my luck. So
one question I do have too. I probably shouldn't bring this upon myself, but
Yep.
When I saw the photo developed of the museum exhibit and that there were these shadowy figures where we all once stood, should I have done a sanity roll for that?
Sure.
Okay, that's why I'm like maybe I shouldn't bring this up.
Hey,
but- okay.
it's honest
It's all
gameplay.
fair. Yeah.
Everybody that failed.
Okay.
You passed that
Apparently
one.
that
Oh,
one I
okay.
was fine with.
Yeah, you're cool with that one.
Like, oh, we're all probably duplicates of our former selves. That's fine.
Everybody that
whatever is
failed,
last.
please give me a d6 roll, and that is how much sanity you have lost.
And don't forget to click the edit button before you try to edit your sanity, as we do every week, instead of just rolling sanity again.
Or, it's okay.
No,
That's not too bad.
Oh, I didn't mean
so
to hit
much
that.
sanity to lose.
I do it every time. I just keep. I said I wasn't going to do it, and then I literally did it. And then,
So Abernath loses 6 points of sanity. Lottie and Barrett both lose 5, and
I lose
Michael loses 1.
1.
Michael's fine.
Right. I look at it and be like, shit.
I'm
Like, that's the level of stress.
Here's the thing. We're all concerned about Abernath. Abernath is the blade we see. It's the blade we don't see that I'm worried about now. It's Mike.
You haven't yet seen the blade. That's
even more concerning. Yeah. No, but it's the thing that like when we get to the end and then Michael starts speaking as the high priest and we're like, oh fuck.
Ironically, that's when the jealousy will overtake me.
I mean, I am fluent in Latin, but that's beside the point, right?
Yeah, that's okay.
Don't. Because Katie's not here, I will quote it. What harm could come from reading a book?
Yeah, seriously. I've read a bunch of them. I'm fine.
Yeah, you're used to it. It's totally fine. Is there anything else anybody would like to do upstairs? Yes, Abernath?
I would like to be the last one downstairs under the guise of needing to use the restroom. So here's a fun fact that I know about 1950s, 1960s British households.
Mm-hmm.
They had a lot of trouble with the invention of warming things and things having to do with the electricity that weren't light bulbs. So I don't know how I'm going to put this charitably. Sorry, Tesla, I already see it in your face. I'm going to take the warming radiator heating up that they would have had with the house, and I'm going to position it so as the water from the tub goes on, it can slowly start to lower into the water. So by the time we're done downstairs, there might be fire upstairs. Who knows? Anything could happen.
So note to self. Anytime John sends me a message that says, "May I have fun with ... Ask more
It
questions.
means arson.
Yeah, it's really mean
It's
arson.
not. It's
There's
not.
like a 95% chance
This is a bad
it's
house.
arson,
They are bad people,
an
and they deserve what's coming.
80% chance it's murder.
Yeah, no, Andrew, we can literally figure this out. It's a 75% chance of arson and a 25% chance of murder because he's
true,
done it
actually,
4 times now.
Yeah.
It's easy enough to do the math.
Mathematically, that is sound.
Okay, technically, I only did it once.
I was
and there
adding in an assumed
sanity-
background.
So
in
no,
my
wait. So I did
numbers.
it once where there was smothering, and then there was the sanity loss from sending the detective after Ollie to check on him after I had murdered him, and now I'm going to burn down this house. Also, there
Don't
was
forget
the
burning down the
landlord-
theater.
Oh,
The museum.
yeah.
The museum.
there
Sorry,
was
you
that.
burned down the museum.
you did do that.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah, I
there.
did do that.
We
Oh,
experienced
yeah,
it.
yeah.
There's 75% chance of
Yeah.
arson.
Yeah, I just no, but here's
And
the
I
fun
assume you
Arson,
burned down the
murder.
bookshop as well.
British homes with the
Right.
electricity. They had a hard time with it, so it's not.
We could.
out
No
of
one
possibilities.
is knocking your knowledge of that, Abernath. What we're asking is, out of character, did you burn down the bookshop?
Do not answer that question.
That's a yes. You
That is-
know it.
That's not a yes. That's a don't answer that question. I'm not allowed to answer
Exactly.
that.
So
So that
for your
means a
lawyer.
75% chance of
I can't
arson.
have Cthulhu. No one can have Cthulhu.
You are a
So far,
creepy.
there's a
You are
40%
yandering
chance.
Cthulhu. I need you to understand. Cthulhu is like you're coming on a little strong, bro.
Well,
You
technically,
need
I
to
it's
back
feel like
up.
there's
a
a
bit.
I'm after, but that's not
40%
the important
chance
thing.
that any place he goes burns down later.
Yeah.
I mean, well,
Yeah.
hold on.
Suspicions, right?
To be
Only, like,
fair,
2
it is
locations thus
Britain.
far.
It is Britain in the 60s. That's a 40% chance any place any of us go is going to burn
Okay.
down later.
Yeah, because
So-
everybody was smoking like a chimney.
exactly. So besides potential arson, is there anything else anybody would like to do upstairs?
Is it potential
No.
arson?
Does anybody
arson,
else
it's-
recognize a name on this list?
I do.
I do.
You do?
Who?
I mean, I
Um,
recognize
Oh, no, this is after
Ollie's
you went
name.
downstairs.
Charlie.
Oh,
You go use the bathroom.
Charlie chimes in that she also recognizes a name on the list.
As I am like again, will give as the repository of books that Michael is. I assume he's taking the journal because Charlie's not here
Yeah.
to snatch out of my hands, like the Chihuahua that she is.
Right.
I am going to go looking through the Mullen's bedroom just to confirm, like again, her bags were also packed, kind of situation.
Yes.
I just want to make sure. Okay, good. But I will call back over Seymour. He was one of the few friends I had on the. My brain's saying
Mary
Mary Celeste,
Celeste?
but that's not. Yeah, Mary Celeste is the actual one that disappeared.
Bonnie
But it's
Celeste.
Bonnie Celeste. Thank you.
Bonnie Celeste. Yep.
And you?
Mine
Dr.
is my mine is my aunt Phyllis, which is questionable because she is Australian. But I guess if I can get here, anybody can get here, and I'm very confused because it doesn't. It's very strange for me, to be completely honest. Mate, because I forgot to have my accent doing that.
Well, the name I recognize is Sister Agnes.
Who is that?
One,
You?
the closest thing to a relationship I've had since I started at London University.
Oh well, isn't that kind of dreary?
Yeah.
Michael, I hope you understand why I'm about to ask what I'm about to ask,
Mhm.
and I apologize for the ramifications of this. Did you ask her out, or did she ask you out?
We both had classes together and started studying together, and it kind of just went from there. No one really asked anyone anything. However, I mean, there's, of course, a good chance that someone looked up the record of classes I was taking and placed someone in those classes. I don't
Plus,
know.
the 60s, man. You could just say that you were in a class and no one would say no.
I could do that, couldn't I? Dang, there's so many classes I could have taken. Oh,
There's,
um,
there's much to be said about the power of positive auditing.
yeah.
Charlie will
So-
mention that Sister Emma, she worked with someone named Emma, and while they weren't like best friends, they were friendly.
This seems a little curious, honestly, this entire situation. Do you think that maybe it's some kind of hoax that they're doing this just to mess with us because they know that we're on the tail? They wanted to throw us off of our tracks, as it
Maybe.
speaks.
Your aunt Phyllis, was she part of orchestrating you coming here to begin with in any way?
She was the only one of us that supported me because I was surrounded by a bunch of undermining men who thought that women don't really have a place.
So if
within
it
the
wasn't for her, you
archaeological world.
wouldn't have been here?
I suppose that's right.
And Barrett, brother Seymour, is
The only friend
is
that
he in some way the reason why you ended up in London when you did?
no,
Okay,
but he was one of the only friends I really had on the Bonnie Celeste.
yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Well, we know why. It's concerning that there's this much infighting within them. If
Yes.
one of them would kill Ollie and then not tell the others,
How did Ollie die? Were you able to tell?
and I'm no forensic scientist.
Yeah.
He looked like he had either died in his sleep, maybe smothered. Either was his lips were blue.
How old was
Could've-
Ollie?
Sorry, I broke John because again, Barrett has no knowledge of anything
I
that
know, I
Abernath
know.
does.
Hold on. I think I have Ollie's age. Let me double check.
Mhm.
Sorry, John was killing
No,
me.
we're fine.
Um,
Sorry, but so good. I'm sorry. I'm trying so hard. I'm not professional about this at all.
no, you're fine. Ollie was like, he was young. He was like in his
Okay.
early 20s.
So it's not likely to be age.
No,
It just looked like he stopped breathing, pretty much.
he was
Right.
blue. I mean,
Yeah.
like he.
I wish I had
Was
a
it
chance
any-
to take a look at the body.
Do you think it
and
was
maybe I
anything
could-
like that other friend that we came across that just deleted themselves into the ether?
The only thing I can say is the Seth choked on salt water, which A, should not have been able to happen in an upstairs flat
Yes.
in London, but B, there was no. It would have maybe dried from how long the body had been there, but there was no residue of salt. There was no smell of it in the air.
Well, I mean, there is a good chance that after everything that happened at the museum, that perhaps brother Ollie, you know,
You
Ended
failed me for the
themselves.
last time kind of situation, or yeah.
so it could be that nobody killed him. Could be that they
I have
took
a
medication or made themselves a tea that would lead to them dying in their sleep.
I'm coming down the stairs as I say this. I have a slightly morbid proposition about my dearly departed friend Ali. The word traitor was above his bed when we found him.
Oh, okay, so it probably was murder then.
Simeon might have murdered him. Maybe something went wrong. You never know. Something might have gone
okay.
wrong.
That
I'm
sounds,
trying.
pretty-
Don't laugh. I'm trying so hard to be a character.
I'm
as
fine. No, you're fine. Don't just ignore me. I'm good.
Okay, so
That is a pretty interesting thing to say. I would gather.
does anyone
they're
know
all in the
Brother
same line.
Simeon? That name?
That does not
Anyone?
ring a bell for me.
Okay, I mean there is a chance that Brother Simeon, for whatever reason, is the one that killed Ollie.
True.
To
There's a chance
move
for
up
that.
and whatever their rankings are, and that whole typical
Also-
infighting within.
When we reconnect with Harold, we got to figure out who Fredo is. If Harold's willing to talk to us again.
Right.
I'm gonna scoot along. I'm gonna go check the. I'm gonna check the ice cave because I don't call them refrigerators yet. I'm gonna check the ice cave to see if there's anything too old
The ice
in there.
box.
Ice box, ice cave, whatever it's called now. The place where the cold things are kept, and then we'll see how long they've been gone.
Are you all
Oh.
going to the kitchen?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do that.
We'll
And
meander towards.
I also I'll look. I plan to as we're going. I think you said the stairs were nearby the kitchen, so as we're like doing that, we'll check that, and then I'll sweep the first floor.
So I will say this as you guys are going, like kind of looking through the downstairs area. The living room looks, like I said, completely normal. It's very clean, but it doesn't look like it doesn't look suspiciously clean. It just looks like somebody who keeps a neat house. Again, there are no pictures. The walls, there's not even really art on the walls. It's just kind of bare.
Yeah, no personality.
Yeah, it's a very boring room. The furniture, like the tables, it all looks very expensive. But as far as like decorations or whatever, there's really nothing. The kitchen, in the ice cave, which now that is what I'm calling refrigerator, from now on. There's not much in it. It looks like maybe they knew that they were going to be leaving and not coming back, so they used or gave away whatever they had. Barrett, you had a really good spot hidden roll earlier when you first came in. So you, as you guys kind of trail into the kitchen, in the back corner, you notice a hatch in the floor.
Well, this is concerning.
Among many concerning things.
Taking bets, dead bodies, people, monsters.
Phew.
There was a serial
Bless
killer
you.
that once made pies
Is the
out of
hatch
paint,
locked?
oddly enough.
It is not locked.
Let's find out. I'm sorry, Mr. Dotson. At this point, I will insist. I'll be going first.
That's fine. I will go right behind you.
If I can fit down this hatch, we'll find out.
We're just gonna hand wave and say that it's a tight fit, but you're able to get down there.
That might be half the reason you have to go first. Like we have to help you, like wiggle your way in.
Just the three of you, the three of you and Charlie just jumping on Barrett to push him through.
No, lift your shoulder up. Keep your shoulder. Come on. Gotta get
Pivot.
around the corner.
There's a very small rickety staircase that leads down into this like really dank, musty smelling basement.
I'm gonna
and
use
there
my
are
flashlight.
that was gonna be my question. It is dark and there are no lights. So we have a flashlight. Does anybody else have any form of light, or are you strictly using Michael's flashlight?
I suppose I'd have a
My
lighter.
torch, as it's called here in London.
Lighters, torches, matches, whatever.
I'd say a lighter.
So as you kind of head down here and you're all like lighting your lighters and your torches, so up to this point, the house has been pretty normal, right? Like there's really not been very much out of place. It's not been really weird.
Very normal.
Yeah, no, this is where she hides all her crazy.
Good.
Okay.
Great. Great. We love to see it.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is like the rest of the house is kind of bland but normal. This is kind of where all of the weird shit is. You, as you're kind of like moving your lights around the room, you see symbols painted on the walls. Priscilla.
Yes.
Do you remember the very first game session that we had? You had a vision during that session. Do you remember that vision at all? It's been a while.
It has been a while. I'm a little.
Okay. I will go ahead and refresh your memory. You were on a dig site, and like you weren't really sure where, but it almost looked like Egypt. And you were going down into like a chamber of some sort. And when you got down there, the door shut behind you. And there was the coffin in the middle of the room and an altar on the other side. And when you went to the altar and kind of ran your hands over the top of it, you cut yourself.
Oh, yes.
Remember? And then you started to hear like the coffin, something moving in the coffin behind you. In the center of this room is that altar.
Oh.
Don't like that.
That's jarring, I would say.
I'm gonna start getting ready to take
I think I'm
photos.
gonna like. I think I'm going to actively gasp and go, "Oh no! I've seen this before."
What do you mean?
I thought it was just like some kind of weird hallucination, but I think it was a vision of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw this altar in my vision. I think I'm gonna walk closer to it, but also like keeping my distance.
Okay. On the altar, there is a small blade lying there. and it has similar symbols carved into the actual blade that kind of match the symbols that are around the room. There's also a silver chalice, which is half filled with a liquid. Does anybody would anybody
Don't
like
like the
to
term
smell
a liquid, but yeah, sure.
smell or taste? So if somebody would like to do some sort of a roll to see if you can tell what I mean, you should. We're still going to do a roll because I think it's going to be fun. But what? Yes, John. I'm sorry.
I don't think I should because it might be a little naughtier than perhaps. How concentrated would you say people are on this coffin slash symbol?
There is no coffin. There is no coffin in the room. It's just the altar.
But people are looking at the altar, right? Like people are. How? Maybe I shouldn't.
So while Abernath deliberates on being Abernath, I will approach. It's one of those things of like I don't want to take Lottie's or not Lottie. Sorry, I don't like Priscilla's moment, but I also want to generally act like a protector for these people, especially if we're needed to stop everything. But you tell me, you give me what skill to roll to sniff at this chalice, and if whatever roll that is fails, I will then taste a bit of it, like on my finger, because sure, I'll let you fuck with my character for a bit.
I would say, occult, natural world, I don't know. Let me see. Where's your sheet at? Let me see what you have.
Oh yeah, no.
Can anyone do this, or is this just?
Yes.
This is gonna be bad no matter what I do, because I think occult's my highest at 25.
Yeah. I'll definitely do an occult check.
Let's see.
Can I operate heavy machinery?
I would say, what else do
I
you
feel like Barrett's going to start carrying heavy machinery with him just so he could pull something out and be like, I'm going to roll that.
If we can ransack a tank, we're good.
Yeah, I'm going to say natural world or occult probably would be the holy shit. How the fuck?
I am your new god. I'm Cthulhu now, motherfucker.
So he has 25% in occult, right? So in Call of Cthulhu, for those of you who do not know, to succeed in a roll, you have to hit that number, whatever you have in that, or lower, right? Yeah. He has a 25. Yeah. He rolled a fucking 1. He got a critical success.
I will take all worshippers. Line up outside.
I thought I was doing pretty good on that one.
Now the cult is changing. we're all going to switch over to the cult of Barrett.
Barrett has finally seen enough that pieces are connecting together in his mind.
Fuck.
Oh, okay. And Dr. Byrne too.
Honestly, here's the thing.
Finally, a win for Dr. Byrne.
Elizabeth.
Yes.
I will do about the only secret thing that I have. Mm-hmm. You know who my foster father was. You know what belief my foster father instilled within me.
Right.
That could be something for you to use to frame on this.
It's gonna be the bells. Oh my god.
It's not the bells.
A bell cult.
I don't even really need to use that because it is you know what, you rolled a 1, so we're gonna do it this way. And we're gonna use these occult rolls for all 3 of you for everything down here, so you guys will not have to re-roll this.
Everybody thought Barrett was not paying attention at the cult bookstore. Everyone thought Barrett was not paying attention when they were doing creepy shit. Apparently Barrett was just processing in the background.
Yeah. Right, yeah. Everything's kindly coming together. Oh, shit.
So Michael and Priscilla, sniffing this, you can tell it is salt water. Barrett, you know, because of your time, you work on a lot of ships, this is your life. You know that this particular saltwater, and this is ridiculous, I know, but you rolled a 1, so this is what you're getting. So just go with it. You know that it is saltwater that specifically comes from the area near Alaska where the Bonnie Celeste was.
Gotcha. What's the line from Leverage? It's a very distinct.
Yes.
Right. It's a cold salt flavor.
Yeah. A fine vintage of saltwater.
Yes.
Yes.
No, it's like you can smell the pine. Can't you smell the pine? None of you can smell the pine.
Yes.
I can hear the orcas screaming in the distance.
I have joined the war on orcas on the side of the orcas.
I mean, to be fair, that's not the worst place to be in the war on orcas.
No, it is not. Orcas capsizing yachts is the best news ever every time it crosses my feed.
I, for one, welcome our new orca overlords. So, if you're listening,
Hard success, regular
Roll.
success, and critical success. Okay. Priscilla, you recognize one of the sigils. You recognize it as the sigil for protection.
oh, well, that doesn't
Michael,
seem downright evil.
Mhm.
yeah, that's not so bad. Michael, you recognize that sigil too, but you also recognize the sigil for power.
Okay.
What, you guys
Barrett,
can't read this all? Before we go on, just a quick reminder while you're figuring that out. As a reminder to the other players, every successful skill that you roll, make sure you're clicking the little dot in your character sheet.
yes.
Oh, thank you.
Because I realized we haven't done that in a very long time, and I don't want to get too far down the list of how many skills have we rolled over the course of this session.
That's going to come into play at the end of this session, so make sure that you do that.
I'm going to actually turn that
A
failure
sigil for
into a
protection and
success.
power.
Okay. All right, I got you, John.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You're fine. Barrett, and I'm really honestly not even sure how you recognize these, but you recognize all 4 of the sigils. The one for protection, the one for power, there's the one for the extended universe, and one for summoning.
Oh, good.
So essentially all 3 of you looking around, seeing all of these sigils on the walls, in front of the altar, it almost looks like there is a ritual circle, and you kind of, with the altar and then the blade and then the chalice, you kind of figure out that they were either trying to summon something or contact something.
So I'm gonna ask a question,
Mm-hmm.
and the only chutzpah I have to ask this question is because I got that critical success.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know if the protection rune or the sigil is a protection from what is being summoned or protection for what is being summoned? Like, are they trying to bring it into the world and give it extra armor, essentially, or are they trying to bring in the world and say, hey, you show up here, just don't kill me when you do so?
I'm going to say it's unclear for all of you, simply because it looks like whatever they were doing did not work.
Which was referenced in the journal of how she was,
Right.
Mother Mullen was frustrated that their ritual didn't.
Right. If there was some evidence that it had worked, you would have a little bit more to go on.
Mhm.
But you don't. I will say, Michael,
Mhm.
and actually, I mean, anybody that's down there can see it. There's a book sitting there, and looking at it, and I'm going to mispronounce this, and I apologize. You very, very quickly recognize this book as the Chat Aquadingen. And again, apologies. It was in the content warning that I was going to mispronounce everything, so I warned you ahead of time.
Aqua Pigeon.
Yes, I will put that in the chat.
Google got me nothing on the way I typed that.
You recognize that this is. I'm going to put it in the.
Yeah.
Just put it in the Discord chat. There you go. It is a very incomplete book. In fact, it looks so incomplete. It looks fake. If you're being completely honest, it looks like a bad copy of a bad copy. It's no wonder that they got this, whatever they were doing wrong, if they were basing it on what was in this book.
They were doing it off of old, middle school photoshoppy,
Yeah. Well,
never use the 8-track when you can use a CD. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's where it gets kind of interesting. Did they get a hold of this incomplete English version of this book by accident, or was it given to them on purpose, knowing that they were going to fail, type thing?
Well, yeah. So, what was the name of the book we found in?
I need to actually in the museum.
Because in the museum we found another book that was junk Latin spells, as well.
Yeah.
Let me look it up real quick. I have it somewhere.
The Grimm Compendium.
Yes, the Grimm Compendium.
Yeah.
I meant to give you access and I forgot to the other books that you were given at the library because Dr. Stern gave you a couple of books. And we'll go over that.
I stole one. Also, I stole one.
You did steal one.
Before the shop
I have it in my possessions.
Right, yeah. This is my shocked face.
It's not stealing if it's never going back.
Yes, it is actually. Believe it or not, that's still stealing. Even if you burn down the place.
That's still
that's the definition.
I was going to burn down the place. You're inferring that I'm going to burn down the place from a set of actions that are a pattern of behavior.
Yes. Yes, I am.
That is typically how assumptions happen, actually.
What exactly were you looking for, John, with that role?
It's part of my backstory is why it's a specific lore, and that influences whether I grab the chalice out of Barrett's hand or wherever they put it, and I chug it whole. Really?
Wait. I'm sorry. You do what?
What?
He wants
stuff in the chalice, right?
There's salt water in the chalice.
Yeah, but I didn't. So I need to know if there's any lore that corresponds to my tragic backstory, TM, and that will influence whether I'm going to go to a dark place or not.
I'm going to attempt to go to a dark place, but yes.
Yes.
Because if you try to grab it from me, I will hold on to it. Fair warning.
You are very strong.
I am, in fact.
I'm going to say it's unclear. Because it's just a plain, there's no like symbols on the actual chalice or anything like that. And you don't recognize, this doesn't seem like something that you've read about in that particular stuff, if that makes sense. So I'm going to say no, just because it doesn't seem like it's a part of that, if that makes sense.
Okay, I'm going to heave a sort of sigh and go, always altars. Always altars.
Always?
Amateurs at that.
Always.
I'll say this, and I'll communicate this to the group. My plan is to take this chalice out of here and dump the water outside. I don't want to dump this water inside, but I also don't want to have this sitting around just in case.
Does anybody take a look in the back of the room, or are you guys just staying here?
No, we'll keep on checking out everything.
I'll take a look in the
I think
in the
I'm going
back
to
of
look
the
at the
room.
back.
Yeah,
I'm really
I-
shocked still that this is
I
this is the one from my vision, and I'm like trying to see if there's other like parts of
Or-
it, things that remind me.
And I was already looking at the rickety staircase anyways, so might as well
Hold on,
look.
but before that goes on, Michael, do you have a cloth on you?
Yeah, I do believe that.
I mean, I'd use up another piece of my clothing, but it's
Are you already in rags?
I'm in essentially a shirt and t-shirt and jeans because my big coat got used to burn a guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
here's a handkerchief.
Right, we
Yeah.
did have to.
So I
trash
take that and I'm going to use
So
that
much
to
trash.
drape over and wrap up the knife,
Okay.
and then be careful to keep the blade from clicking anybody. The last thing I want is blood on this altar.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I'll Michael, you have the bag. Do you want to hold on to it? Otherwise, I'll put it in my belt and just keep
I
on
can
moving.
put it in my bag.
All right.
There's
I
no
trust
nothing
you
A little
bad.
blood.
None of you are going to use this in the middle of the night to kill us.
Well, I don't plan on killing
What an
anyone,
oddly
right?
specific thing to say. Are an oddly specific thing to say? I'm sure you wouldn't.
I don't
Look.
think I've ever killed anyone, to be honest.
I can't say the same. Barrett's been in too many bar fights.
Yeah.
Barrett cannot say the same.
Well, I mean, you've been in too many bar fights. Abernath's been in a war. Which one we still are not sure of.
Oh no, we're sure of. Abernath's not sure
It
of.
was-
Everyone else is
It
sure
was
of.
a great war. That was the thing of it. It was.
And who
Don't
knows?
call it
It was not a
great.
Yeah.
good war.
Dr. Byrne may or may not have had, previous incident.
I mean, Australia is
Right.
an island full of people that
I mean, I heard rumors
are
of this-
descended from criminals.
Right.
You
Right.
Sorry, we got
Michael is suddenly thinking
sidetracked.
he might be the only non-murderer in the room that he's in.
Murders.
So, do you guys remember in the museum,
Mm,
in the cellar where that was like the
Mhm.
workshop? Do you remember what
Molds.
was missing?
The molds were
From
the
missing.
molds.
Yeah, they're here.
Oh,
What are they of?
They look like they are molds of some of the things that you saw in the displays.
Mhm. They all got moved here.
Is there a mold of the Rontagoth?
Nope.
Good. Because as a reminder, everything in the museum was wax, except for the
Except
thing
the
that fucked with
Rontagoth,
us. Yeah.
There is
Which
no
is-
mold of that, but there is a mold of the other stuff.
Okay.
Which, speaking of the Rontagoth, the thing that messed with us, I still have to show you guys the picture that I took of that. It was weird. Barrett, you seem to be knowledgeable of the occult. Maybe you can help me figure it out.
Concerning.
Going off of the way his role was.
So going off of my critical sense, which I will burn into the ground like Abernath at a place we were just visiting casually. But also,
If it's
Relationship
arson, it's not
once.
casual.
also off of the spot hidden from earlier. Can I tell how frequently? How sorry, not frequently. How recently the molds were used?
It looks like it's been a while.
Okay, so just they're here instead of being there,
Mhm.
but it doesn't look like they were brought here and then used to make up, our whole
Correct.
cavalcade of horrors. Understood.
Correct.
Okay. Based on the book, the
Mhm.
Chat Aquadigen,
Mhm.
whatever. Can I read it and try not out loud? Of course, I want to
Thank you.
specify that part.
Thank you.
To try to figure out what ritual they were trying to do and how horrible this translation probably was.
Okay. So because you're looking for something specific, what was your I'm gonna just go off of your other call roll.
Yeah. Do you want me to roll for Latin? Is that the natural languages?
No, this was in English.
Right. The translation was in English, but yeah.
You found a spell book in English and we're like, yeah, this is a real one.
Can you read?
No, it's not. That's the problem.
I know, but they thought it was real.
Yeah,
clearly.
yeah.
So they found a spell book in English and we're like,
He was
fuck
like,
this.
There's some bad shit going on with these cultists,
feminist.
and yet their little groups are all amateurs, apparently. I don't know. It's weird.
It looks like they were trying to maybe do as you're just kind of doing like a quick look through of this book, it looks like it could have been one of two things: either Contact Deep One, or Sacred Rites of Union, which calls something, but it doesn't specify what it calls.
Oh, fuck.
You always want specifics when you do something like that.
You do.
Or
kind and beneficent gem.
Sacred Contact of the Union.
Yes.
How many mold are there in fact 6 molds by any chance?
No,
they love that number 6.
I was about to say, like, were these molds used to make something that to take on these trips? But no, okay, there's more than that. And just to confirm, before I completely scratch that off of my list of possibilities, the last thing in them, or the residue that's still on them, is wax and not, say, bronze, lead, pewter, anything like that, right?
Correct.
Okay. So it wasn't like, hey, let's pour some bronze cast, take this creepy Cthulhu statue to Valparaiso, and then do a ritual there. It's something else. Okay.
Yes.
Can I do an occult check on the saltwater?
What are you looking for?
Essentially, since the spell might have been like Contact Deep One, use either occult or my lore Necronomicon to try to connect the salt water with the potential of it being contacting a deep one, to kind of either eliminate that as the possible spell or confirm it, or
sure.
However, okay. Which one would be, I guess, better? I have Cthulhu Mythos, Occult, and Lore Necronomicon, because I know too much already.
I'm gonna let you decide. Any of them would be fine.
Okay. Gonna go with the one that's the higher number.
Can I also assist with a Cthulhu Mythos roll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
Whoa!
Oh,
wow. Shit.
3 out of holy crap! 3 out of 30 and a 27 out of 65. You guys just know way too much right now.
Yeah. We're piecing together too many pieces here.
Yeah.
I know everything. I am everything.
It's getting so much clearer, but also worse, but clearer.
Yeah. Remind me to go over the photo I have of the museum with you too, Dr. Byrne.
Oh, I am positively chomping at the bit to get a chance to look at it.
Yeah,
we're not gonna have to go back, are we? You don't need a second set of pictures, do you?
No. I think I'm good.
All right.
What a strange thing to ask, Abernath.
Well, I don't really wish to go back to the scene of the crime, do you?
Hold on.
Scene of the crime?
We have already driven by and saw that it was on fire.
Yeah.
We don't know Abernath did it.
Right.
But we are
but
heartily
also,
aware
it's like a magical thing,
fire.
so it could be instantly healed too. We don't know that it succumbed to the fire. We don't know that. Anything could happen.
Oh, that poor firefighter. By the way, for those of you who did not see that episode, A, go watch the Shadow of Nox YouTube channel. All the back episodes are there. But B, the lamp that gives you hallucinations of other worlds was left in a burning building. One firefighter had a very, very bad fucking day.
Possibly
I will say he left it there. It does not mean that's where it stayed.
That is very true.
Oh,
Theoretically, hypothetically, one firefighter had a very bad day.
So both of you kind of put your heads together on this. You are 95% sure that they were trying to contact a deep one.
Those are in Massachusetts.
They don't, I mean,
They're
that's why they're trying to call them. Well, that, and, they have the wrong, they have a copy of a copy. Like, they have a very, very bad copy of this book. This very rare book that there's like less than 5 copies of in the world anyway. So they were probably going to fail regardless.
Yeah, I assume the aqua in the title corresponds with the fact that we have a cup full of seawater.
Yeah.
So I am going to share 2 things with you guys. And they're both just kind of, one is a key and one is a test book. Just so we can kind of go over how studying these books work. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the key, and then the test book. So the way this is going to work, and it's going to work a little bit differently than it does in the book. So the first thing that you have at the top is going to be the language that this particular book is written in, who it was written by or who it was translated by, and when it was written and or translated. Are you laughing at my title of my fake book?
Yes.
So this mysterious test mythos book is in English. It's written by E. Gonzalez in 2024. The future gasp is what it says. The next is a little description of the book itself. So a collection of words used to demonstrate a point, bound in vegan leather and decorated with stickers is this test book.
Space mead?
That is actually a thing in the book. It is actually a spell in the book.
I want space mead. Somebody make me space mead.
All right, I'll figure it out.
The
That'll
next
be in
one
the
is
Savage Worlds game.
the next one is the sanity loss you take from reading this book. It is automatic.
Oh, that's right.
If you decide to read this book, you are going to lose that much sanity. So if you decide to fully read my test book, you are going to have to roll a D100, and that is how much sanity you lose.
Oh my god.
Right. Yeah.
The next one is the Cthulhu Mythos, and this shows you the Cthulhu Mythos points that you gain from this book.
Mm-hmm.
The first number in my book is +4. That is the number that you gain from an initial reading. So that is, you flip through this book, you kind of have like an idea of what the book is about, you get +4 to your Cthulhu Mythos right off the bat. The next number is how much you gain from doing a full reading. So the way that I'm doing this is, for the initial reading, you would get +4, and then the next number is +9. So when you do a full reading, you would gain +5 more, so you would get 9 total, is the way that I am working this.
Ooh.
The next number that you would see is the Mythos rating, and that is the percentage chance for finding something useful within this tome. I am not going to make you roll that for these books. If you choose to do a full reading of this book, I will give you information, and I will give you a piece of useful information that you gain from this book, or I will tell you there's nothing useful in this book, one or the other. You will probably be able to tell whether or not you're going to get something useful out of the book based on the title of the book. The next one is study, and that is how long, it's the suggested time required to conduct a full reading of this book. So for my test book, it would take you two weeks to fully read this book. To fully learn this book. Now, I am doing mine a little bit different. If you do not have any points in occult or in mythos, and I'm typically basing this off of occult. If you have no knowledge of the occult, if you have not put any points in it, it is going to take you a little bit longer to get through the book because you have no knowledge of this world. So for the books, when I share it with you, it will have like say 2 weeks, and then it'll say like 2d4. You would roll me 2d4, and that's how long extra it takes you to get through the book, whether it's days or weeks. So for like this, I would say roll me a d4. That's how many like extra days it takes you. So it takes 2 weeks and 4 days if you roll a 4.
Right.
If you have over 50 in occult, you would do the same thing, but then subtract it from your study time.
Right, you could do it quicker. Okay.
Right, because you have more knowledge, you're used to reading these kind of books, that sort of thing. The next is the spells that can be learned from this book. And again, I'm doing spells a little bit differently. If you have no points in occult, you cannot learn spells until you start putting points into occult, because you don't have enough knowledge to be able to pull off magic. So for this book, once you fully read it and study it, you would be able to learn how to brew space mead. And then under that, it gives you the actual spell, how long it takes you to actually study the spell to learn it. So again, for this one, it would take you 2d6 weeks to actually learn how to cast the spell. It tells you the cost of the spell and how many days, the casting time of the spell. So like this one takes you a very long time, many, many days to cast the spell. And then it gives you a description of what the spell does. When we start getting into learning spells, we're going to do that a little bit differently too. But we'll get into that once we actually start learning the spells.
Yeah.
So is this... This is, I'm going to share this with you. This is the original book that the book you found is based off of. And this, I'm going to show it to everybody. But Andrew, this is one of the books that you got from Dr. Stern. So this kind of gives you everybody an idea of what like an actual thing would look like.
It's a blank prompt for me. Oh,
So
nope.
there's
It's
nothing
just,
there.
Well, you
there.
don't have enough occult then, I guess.
Apparently not. It's there. You just got to highlight it because apparently it's the same color as the background. At least for me, it is.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
Here is, by the way, I have a fun fact that doesn't involve arson, by the way.
Oh, bound just
Um,
like Necronomicon. Awesome.
So, Innsmouth is not the only city. There are apparently other cities like Innsmouth that the Deep Ones have a hold of, including one off of the British Isles called Ulu Uloa. And so there's actually, it's not weird that this book is here, because somewhere in the British Isles there's a fish village with a lot of weird golden
the important
artifacts
question
in
is,
it.
of course, did they fight during the Revolutionary War, and did we have do the British Deep Ones hate the colonizers, or hate the colonies?
Probably fought in the French Indian War, because they seem like a fur trapping sort of people to me. I don't know.
All right. So, where's my notes? There, my note. Oh, nope, that's you guys, not my notes. There we go.
Nope.
So, that is how reading and studying books work.
You said there was a circle drawn in this room?
I'm sorry?
A ritual circle in the room?
In front of in the middle of the room, in front of the altar, there is.
What was it drawn with?
Probably blood.
It's red. It smells kind of
dry,
rusty.
Yeah. Well, it's more like a brownish color now because it's been there for a minute.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have medicine as a skill. Not a doctor by any means, or even as good as a nurse, but still.
Or
I
an
definitely
alienist.
want to read some stuff. I'm going to go grab a tissue really quick.
Okay.
I will also point out really quick. Well, like I said, we'll go into more detail on spells when we actually get to that point. When people have studied books and they're ready to actually learn.
When we have downtime of, say, being on a boat, just people are
Right.
sitting around doing nothing but reading books and losing.
Yeah, I'll just learn all the spells. That's fine.
Right, exactly. I will say this:
Or wizard
magic in Call of Cthulhu, even if you succeed,
Yeah, you
doesn't
still-
always turn out the way you would expect.
Yeah.
So even if they technically did everything right, they may have failed just because they didn't get what they thought they were going to from it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is just trying to beat the dead horse of my critical success for as much as I can get out of it. Can I tell when they did the ritual? Okay, if the answer is no, but if there's a chance that we can get that information.
Between your roll and then the journal, it was around the time that you guys woke up in the
Good.
Like, you can't tell exactly, but it looks like it was probably like before you woke up in the museum, but not like a month or two before, like maybe a couple of days to like a week or two before.
So we have an approximate
Yes.
time. It was about when we woke up, you said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say you can't really 100% tell, but it looks like anywhere from like 2 weeks before to a couple of days, like maybe a day or two before.
Can I do a medicine roll to see if I can tell by how old the blood seems?
Sure.
Nope.
No, that is a 97 out of 26.
Nope.
Yeah, you are not sure. You know that it is
We
dried
did not
blood.
go over this in the medical classes that I have had.
No, this was not covered. I will say you don't know if it's all from the same person or if several people contributed. You can't tell. You just know that it is.
This is
Yes, Abernath?
I have a question.
We stopped paying attention to Abernath long enough for Abernath to do bad things.
I have some skill in mechanical repair. Could that skill in mechanical repair also have mechanical disrepair capabilities? Like,
how come
if I rolled high enough, would it allow me to disassemble something, for instance, that is currently assembled?
I'm gonna say maybe.
Okay.
Are you sabotaging the car?
No.
What are you looking to do?
I'm just so concerned. I'm really concerned about this rickety staircase. I just want to make sure that it's going to hold us on our way back upstairs so we don't get stuck down here. I hate for that to happen. That would be so awful.
I'm going to say no because I need you guys to actually leave this place.
I'm going to hold the question for later in case, they need my expertise on the boat.
That's fair. But I do actually need you guys to actually leave this place at some point because we do need to.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Barrett could probably lift everyone through this hatch.
It would just be then who was going to lift Barrett out.
Right.
Barrett's going to lift Barrett and then get stuck.
Right, yeah, he would have to, like,
By the way,
John Valjean his way up the wall. And just
Jean Valjean. Well, you're already wearing like a ripped shirt, so you just ripped the shirt fully for the full Jean Valjean experience. Per my last question as well.
2, 4, 6. Oh,
has the madness that I set in the bathroom taken hold? Has it fallen into the water yet? Should we be concerned about my arson yet?
I am gonna say no. Just because it's going to happen after you guys leave, just because I need to progress the story without you guys having to worry about a fire. But it will happen as you guys are leaving.
Oh, that's sweet of you to say. Thank you.
Is that the name of the episode today? There will be fire.
That's what every episode should be.
Right, yeah.
Abandoned my boy.
There will be fire.
Yeah.
You're just putting me out to sea.
That's the title of Abernath's autobiography.
Yeah.
There will be fire.
There will be fire.
Fire and the Great War.
Is there anything else you guys would like to do or look at?
I think we got enough out of this room.
This reminds me too much.
I take my photographs as we go through. Of course, using the flash.
Okay.
So I warn everybody before it goes off. So I don't blind anybody.
I think Barrett will be the last one because Barrett can actually lift himself up out of there if need be with his rickety stairs. But then going like again, as soon as we're upstairs on the first floor, it is opening a window and like just dumping the cup out into the garden or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the tendril from the garden rises.
Yeah, basically.
Is the infected
you start seeing like little tentacles
Audrey
growing out of the soil.
Right.
You crafted Audrey 2 in this universe. Thanks a whole bunch. Now we gotta deal with that.
No. It's fine. See, I looked down into the garden afterwards and I dumped out the cup and there was just pieces of gold and like a pile of fish for some reason.
Is there anything else anybody wants to do in the house?
Oh, do they have any like extra tea or like biscuits we can take just like in the cupboard?
I mean, they're
You're
not
such
using
a
it. Might as
klepto.
well.
Sure.
They're not using it.
Sure,
as
there's
well.
tea and
One
biscuits that you
man's-
can take.
Is it the same
Right.
brand of biscuits from the museum? No,
Ooh.
it doesn't matter.
Just as a
Always
matter of
brand.
fact.
Right? Oh,
Is that
suspicious.
thing printed on the side where it says, sold as unit, do not sell individually?
Right, yeah.
Do we check the serial numbers?
Barcode numbers because we're connecting too many dots that are not the correct one.
The barcode is the side of the beast.
Start having a little yarn board and everything. Be like, oh, we got to find where these crackers came from.
All right. So as you guys kind of make your way back up to the first floor, and it's getting a little later in the day, so you need to start heading back to the docks because you're supposed to meet with the gentleman that we're acquiring the vessel for you. You exit, and we're gonna go ahead and stop here for
Does
reasons.
anybody smell smoke?
Right, yeah. We're going to stop before the building explodes
I'm
behind.
getting a stroke.
It's not. No,
Like
it doesn't. It
known as
doesn't
Abernath.
explode. It's just like wet fire is what it is. It doesn't explode.
Wet
Wet
fire.
You
Yeah. So here's the thing. It's like the radiator has a heating element that wasn't like well insulated. So you put it with the water, and so it does create steam, but it's not like an explosion steam. So eventually everything will just be in flame, but it won't burst into flame. So it's like a wet fire.
A wet
Steam
This
makes
is a
fire.
real thing in the 50s and 60s in British homes because they hadn't figured like they were doing like heated
Hold on.
electric blankets for their tabletop covers for their dining room tables. So this would not have been weird in this time period.
I need
Like,
to
they
ask an
just had not
important
mastered
question.
it. Yes.
John, not Abernath, John, how much have you researched? Give me a ballpark
Arson.
hour number.
Yeah.
How much have you
Oh.
researched how to do arson in 60s Britain?
No, I actually just know this off of a documentary I watched about safety stuff.
Okay.
It just happens to be something that I knew that I learned
Yeah.
once, and I thought that's
I
kind of
just-
neat.
So
It's like the
In
history
short,
of,
the
like,
FBI is
it's-
watching his history.
It's very
Oh, no,
neat.
yeah, it's-
I'm just worried that when we wrap these streams, John cracks his knuckles, opens up Google, and then starts researching his next war crime.
So
Search
as
topic,
you're
how to arson. All right.
as you guys are exiting, you don't smell smoke yet, because you guys still wanted to talk to some of the neighbors next session. So we're not going to do the smoke yet because that would interfere with
Mhm.
that. You do see someone leaning up against your car, and it looks like he is beaten and bloody. And he's holding a bag that he kind of just drops on the ground. And that's where we're going to end for today.
Is it Ollie?
No.
Is Ollie back from the dead?
Yeah. Yes,
I hope
yes.
not. But there's
Yeah,
definitely
that's what it is.
there's definitely a dead body or a head in that bag.
Yeah, I just watched Fallout. I feel like it's ahead.
It could be something helpful. You don't know. I am
Yeah.
not
It
could
always
be
one
helpful.
person.
Sometimes heads in bags are helpful. Don't
Yeah.
Never know.
knock our creativity.
But yeah, so that's where we're going to end tonight. And we will pick back up. We were supposed to take next week off, but I'm not sure if we're going to since we haven't really played very much. So we may play next week. We may not. We'll let you know in the Discord.
Hey, you know what? This is a good idea. To follow us on social. Follow Shadows of Nox on social. Go to the Discord. Do all that kind of stuff because guess where we're gonna announce if we're playing next week on all the socials and on the Discord.
It's
If you're
true.
not already following those, do it. Do
Yes,
the thing.
we have a Mastodon, a Blue Sky, and an Instagram, all of which that I created for. They put me in charge of social media for some baffling reason. So I also put out questions like, "What is your favorite spaceship?" And so you can also interact with us in ways that are not just being in games. Like you can look for the posts that are just about what are the things you like in horror and space and stuff.
Do the dumb things you gotta do. Touch the puppet head.
But if we're not back next week, we will be back the week after, and we will pick back up where we are leaving off. We will find out who this new person is. We will maybe talk to some neighbors, find out what they know, and then we will head to the docks and plot our trip for our little ocean adventure that we're going to have.
Same
Our
squid
3-hour
time,
tour.
same
I
squid.
hope I'm Marianne.
Oh, little buddy, you're not. I'm sorry.
Oh. No, wait. Abernath Abernath wouldn't be the professor. Abernath would be.
Abernath, you are my
Abernath
Gilligan at this
would be
point.
Mr. Howell. No, Abernath would
No, I'm
be
sorry,
Howell,
buddy.
I feel like.
You're
No.
typecast. You're my little buddy at this point.
I
You're
don't
my
think
Gilligan.
I can be. I'm a feeble
Marianne
man.
is
I don't think I can be Gilligan.
Marianne
It
is
was
Charlie.
cool.
I'd probably be Ginger,
See that.
I think.
All right, people, join us next week. Same squid time, same squid channel.
Thanks for
If we
watching.
play next week.
Yes.
Thanks for everybody for playing.
Thank you all.
Thanks.
Good night, everybody.